facility and business. Now, with us this afternoon, we have some dignitaries that are here as witnesses to this business. And I'm going to be inviting them to the front to take a seat so that we can start the program. The first person I would like to invite to the front is our Honorable Mayor Jim Watson. Come on down. Thank you, Mr. Watson. And the second person on our list is our very own MPP from Orleans, Miss Phil McNeely from the Liberal Party. And also with us this afternoon, we have the President of the Eastern Ontario Basketball Association, Mr. Randy Godfrey, if you can just come in front. The last person we will have with us today, because Merrick is very special and well connected. He went all the way to the continent of Africa to invite this person. And this person is representing all the way from South Africa, because along the way, part of Merrick's professional career had a root in South Africa. So, and that's why this person is here with us today, representing the South African High Commissioner in Ottawa, Ms. Tamara Ndaba. Please come to the front. Oh, we do have a few seats at the front. That's okay, you can come and sit at the front. No questions, guys. You know, like they say, the real Catholics usually sit at the back, but we have some seats at the front. Okay, when Mary gave me the honor of being the MC for the opening, I was very delighted. So last night I was saying to myself, what am I going to say about Mary? And I wrote up all this essay. I said, well, I'm not going to have time to read this, so I left it at home, and I'm just going to do an impromptu. The reason why we have our four dignitaries at the front here today is to be able to give us some commendations for Mary. But before we do that, I'd just like to share some personal reflections about Mary with you. For those of you that know Mr. Palmer very well, he's a very dedicated and committed person. And one thing I do remember very well was last year during the Black History opening ceremony at the Library of the Archives in downtown. For those of you that will probably remember, Mr. Palmer was one of our guest speakers, and he went on the podium, and he was talking about what he was going to do to encourage our youths, to help the youths. And one of the things he mentioned on the podium was that his dream was to actually have a place where kids can come to develop their basketball skills. Now, that was last February. And personally for me, when Merrick called me to tell me about it, I was so happy that this is today, less than a year, he has actually turned that dream into realities. And I think that alone in itself deserves a big round of applause for Mr. Now, I know this is just the beginning. There's going to be more dreams that will be turned into realities. And also, just before we start, I also like to acknowledge that there are lots of family members, friends that are from out of town that have come as far as Florida, Toronto, all across to come and celebrate this occasion with Mr. Merrick. And just on that note, for all the family members and the siblings, I know some of us are standing. If you can just put your hands up and just do the wave, so we know. Thank you. Thanks for coming. So for this afternoon, you are all witnesses, and Merrick has done his part by launching this project. And I think all the rest of us have to do now is to provide Merrick with the support to keep the project well alive. And I know many of you are already doing that. Okay, so please keep that in mind. So, I'm going to start with our guest speakers, if they do have some commendations to give to Mr. Palmer. The first person I'm going to be inviting to come down will be our Honorable Mayor. And the second person will be Phil McNeely, our Orleans MPP. And then we have the Eastern Ontario President. And the last person will be our distinguished guest all the way from the mother continent, South Africa. So it's amazing that they're just kind of sitting in the order. Yes. So in terms of the introduction, I'm sure that I don't need to say much about Mr. Watson. You all know him as a people person. That's why we have him as our mayor today. So you all know lots about Mr. Watson. He's been mayor years ago. He went to Queen's Park to be part of the McGuinty cabinet, and now he's back home to be our mayor again. So please join me in welcoming Mr. Jim Watson to the stage.
Well, thank you very, very much, ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs. It's a real pleasure to be here and to congratulate Merrick on his dream come true, this wonderful new addition in the East End. And to be here with my friend Phil McNeely, your member of Provincial Parliament. One of our city councillors is with us. He looks like he used to play basketball back in the 1920s. Rainer Blois is with us. Rainer, welcome. Another local celebrity who did play basketball for the Carleton Ravens, Walter Robinson, is here. But I remember when Walter played for the Ravens. I went to Carleton, and they never won any games back then. But they're doing very well now. So Walter built the foundation. So Walter really needs to be here, Merrick, and give him extra lessons, okay? But it's great to be here, and you know what's so special about this event is so many members of Merrick's family are with him today to celebrate in this very exciting venture, the next step in his life. He's went to St. X, played basketball there, went overseas, played professional, and he's come back home to open this wonderful new facility that is going to help so many young people hone their basketball skills, but also create a safe place for young people to come and gather and share in the sport that they love. When I was in the provincial government with Phil and with the Premier, I had the honor of being the Minister of Health Promotion and Sports. And that portfolio was all about trying to get more young people involved in physical activity, because it taught a number of things, including discipline and respect. And it also recognized that we had a serious problem in Canada, that there's been an epidemic of obesity, 300% increase in obesity rates. We've got to get more people off PlayStation and onto the playground. And their thumb muscles are really strong because they're playing Xbox and Nintendo, but we've got to get them more physically active, because if we don't get them physically active, they're going to be harming themselves and really clogging up the healthcare system in the next couple of decades. So Merrick is doing an incredible job setting up this beautiful facility, and I think, as pointed out, what Moses pointed out, we've got to make sure that this is a success. So it's up to all of us. When we hear of people who have kids who are interested in basketball, let them know about Capital Courts and let them find out about what programs are available. The final thing I'll say, and I just wanted to present a small certificate to Merrick to congratulate him on investing in Ottawa, is it takes a lot of courage to open a business. And you know, you put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into getting the place ready. You don't know if you're necessarily going to have people coming walking through the door. You've got to market it. You're putting a lot of your own money into it, family money. And I'm very, very proud of you, Merrick, for doing that and showing your confidence in our economy and also in yourself, because this is probably, next to buying a house, one of the biggest investments that you're going to make. So we're behind you 100%. Félicitations, nous sommes très fiers, and I'd ask you to come forward and we're going to present you with the certificate.